fishing more soft plastics this year than I did last year. I hate fishing soft plastics, but they seem to just be culling those bigger bass when they're finicky. And I talked about it in the podcast when I talked about soft plastics. I talked about fishing them when the bass are being finicky and the bite is turned off. And it's really, really true. When the bite is turned off and their bass are being finicky, you throw big paddle tails or really any big sluggos, something like that, big hoagies. Like I don't like really care as far as the brand, but they all really catch bass. And I did so I because there's one night in particular. I was fishing and it was pretty seaweedy, so I had an Owner Beast hook and I had it on two different soft plastics. One was like I had a forked tail. There's names for these soft plastics, but I don't fish them enough to even learn the names of them. And so one had a forked tail and it was like 8 inches, and the other one was an 8-inch sluggo, and or maybe more. They're huge. They're giant soft plastics, and I had a giant Owner Beast hook on it, and I'm fishing them, and I'm twitching, and it's seaweed, like bubbleweed, and I'm getting all of my darters and my shad swimmers and my glide baits all just getting gunked up. And I throw on these soft plastics and I just waylay 15 fish, all in the high 20s to 30 inches. And that's the thing, like you can just sometimes the bass are there, but you can't get them to commit to plugs because there's too much seaweed. And where that comes in, that's where I'm going to be throwing those soft plastics. And no, they're not like 40-pound bass, and no, they're not 30-pound bass, and no, they're not even 40-inch bass. But though, like if I'm still pulling 15 fish in the high 20s to 30 inches, I have no problem with that. That's a good night for me.